Hello, my name is Shayla Breen, and this is my project FoxTrail. FoxTrail is a playable 2D platformer created with 3D assets. The purpose of the game was to bring the concept art to life while following a AAA game development pipeline. Everything was created from scratch to create a fun, stylized platformer for the player to experience. As a concept artist, I wasn't quite sure how to truly show my skills with my capstone. But for a few years now, I've had this idea for a game in my head. For this project, I decided to take the dive and create the game. I wanted to use all the skills I've learned during my time at DAGD to bring my concepts and ideas to life, to show that I can create good and useful concepts. I ended up working alone on this project, so I knew I really had to keep in mind scope with what I could create and show off with my game idea. Before the semester began, I started by creating a few different pieces of concept art that would be the starting point for this project. This, of course, helped me finalize the ideas that would show up in this project. I also took the time to gray box the level in Unreal Engine 5. As I am not much of a programmer, I wanted to get the 2D platforming and the base that would become the 20 falling stalactites done. This way I could focus on the overall look and finer points of the level. With the semester officially started, I decided to begin with the sculpt of the player character, the fox, in ZBrush, using the concept art I created. Then I took the model into 3ds Max to create the low poly version for the model. I had to keep a lot in mind when creating this version, like how it would move once it was animated and keeping the number of polygons low so it can be game ready. I then unwrapped the model using UDIMs. During this time, I also created the low poly models for the environment. I wanted the environment pieces to be able to be reused in multiple places and make use of the camera being locked in one direction by having some pieces look a bit different from different sides. Then I unwrapped each of the pieces individually. I then baked and created textures for the fox and all the environment pieces in Substance Painter. I wanted to keep the textures simple and have colors that really pop, except for most of the environment pieces, which were meant to be a bit more muted looking, to allow for the fox and crystals to really stick out more. The fox was then rigged and animated. The fox only needed simple animations like jumping and running, but I still wanted them to feel fun and work with the 2D platforming style game. While the fox was being rigged, I took the time to fully build out the level and polish it as much as I can, like adding Niagara VFX, particle systems, sound effects, and different mechanics like the screen fading to black when the player dies. The lighting was also something that took a bit of my time. With the level being a case system, I had to really balance how dark I wanted the level to be and still letting the level be visible to the player. The level ended up mostly being lit using emission textures from the crystals and the fox. But I also made use of an HDRI image for some of the general lighting, and it added some nice variety of colors to the level. All that was left was getting the fox in the level and smoothing out any issues that came with that. After some playtesting and polishing, the game level was complete. Even with the prep I did for this project, I still ran into plenty of problems throughout the process. But I actually impressed myself with how I was able to figure out how to fix each one. Of course, I wish I was able to do more to really show off my game idea. But I'm also really proud of the work I did here. It had its moments of being tough, but in the end, I really do think I brought my concepts to life in a way only I could do. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I hope you enjoy the game.